Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door. And we are finally back. Apologies. I've had a few people chasing me. Where's Knappers? Where is he? We haven't seen him. Do you know we haven't seen him for over 2 weeks? So apologies there. International break. The poor bugger caught COVID and my ongoing inability to manage doing work and having a month-old baby. But he's back. First of all, most importantly, how are you? And is the horrible virus lagging?
To be fair, I'm a lot better now. But League One, obviously, it's a killer sometimes. You've got a lot of content to do, a lot of research to do. And like I say, and it's scary. And we're only 6 games in. I think we only had one midweek game. And if this is how I feel after 6 games, I'm going to feel like in 40 games, I think I'll have loads of more grey hairs at the age of 19 that I shouldn't have.
Well, just like that, yeah? Just like that. You'll laugh on my whiteboard there. Whenever there's a 3-game week, the Monday following it, day off. You've got to do it. You've got to do it. But, yeah, people sometimes say to me, oh, Ben, it's not a 3-game week, really. It's only 2 because it's 8 days. And I'm like, you try and do this week and tell me there's only 2 games. Literally, you finish doing the Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and I'm then immediately writing the previews to the weekend, and you've got 1 day to do it, basically. So there we go. Everybody's heart bleeds for us because we do love covering our football. But this is Dearly Departed League One, so it's covering the teams that we've covered before on the channel in the Championship. They have, sadly, unfortunately, all been relegated out. But there's still a call to talk about them, and we don't want to lose those lovely fans that we've picked up. Obviously, I can't be across all of it, so we enlist Knappers, who knows far more about League One than I, and we have a good old powwow about that. We need to say thank you to our fan sponsor, Bits, who is covering our Dearly Departed League One show here. Follower of Ipswich for 40 plus years, over land and sea and Norwich. Thank you, Bits, for getting involved here. What we will do as well, we are not live today. I'll pop this up as a premiere so you can comment in the live chat. If you do want to support financially, you can still super chat during a premiere. And as we've said many times, we will split those between myself and Knappers. So you're supporting his work as well, which we will plug at the end if you want a more full look at League One, all the teams. That, I need to point that way, don't I? That is the place to go and the man to listen to. And an interesting top 10 video, which I'm sure has got him lots of lovely comments going up.
Honestly, I literally say at the start of the video because when I do the managers one's always the toughest one to do, in my opinion. With strikers, there's always ways round you can get a strike. But with managers, for the first time, I had about 16, and I didn't put Joel Coleman in, I didn't put Dave Artell in, who I really like. But I'm like, I want to go somewhere different. I'm sick. I put them in every year, and I'm like, I'm going to go for someone. I'm like, and they're, oh, why are you putting him first? He's football crap. I'm like, well, he's won promotions, and he's done well with a team that you wouldn't expect. I'm like, I did say at the start of the video, more's going to miss out than get in.
Well, by virtue of the fact there's 24 managers in the league and you're making a top 10. But do go and check that out. I feel your pain, and I put many, many caveats in my top 10 videos and always say, don't have a pop at mine. You put your own in the comments and we'll work back from there. So a lot has changed, Ben, since we last spoke. The window is closed. There's been 2 games for each of these teams, and there's been 3 games for Rotherham. You've seen Rotherham in the flesh as well, so we can focus in on that. So what we're going to do, we're going to go, we'll do a little brief bit on the window, and you can just give your, I don't know, thumbs up, thumbs down in the middle, thumbs in the middle for the business. But last time we were sat here, the table looked very, very different. And now the team we're going to be dealing with first is Wigan, who are second in the table. They're busting the 2 points per game out after 6 games. They've got a game in hand on everybody else other than Sunderland in the top 7. Looking very, very good. I'll bring their business up here. I've got a transfer marked up on the other screen. We won't look at the outs because I just want you to focus on what's going to be happening going forward. But Ben, just a general little précis. In have come over this whole window. Kerr, Bennett, Power, Watmer, Edwards, Naylor, Cousins, Amos, Wyke, Watts, McLean, Tilt in on a loan, Humphreys, Jones, he's going off the screen. Bayliss, rehabilitation job there. Carragher, complete transformation. And it's going to be the first Ipswich mention to compare and contrast to another team, maybe with a new squad struggling. What's your quick view on the Wigan business and who you're most excited about that's come in there?
I think he's been very good. I like the look of Watts in midfield. I like Tilt at the back. I think he was very good for Blackpool and very good for Rotherham as well. And White's a goal scorer, giving the service. Cousins has shown his quality already. Amos is a good goalkeeper at this level. Watmore again worked with the manager before at Portsmouth. I like him. I think he's one of the best centre halves in League One. And then Power, experience, and McLean both been there before, know the football club, get the fans. I think that's huge. And Humphreys as well, I like as well. He's a goal scorer at this level. We saw his assist at Charlton away. It was a brilliant assist, really. And you're doing very well. They've had a very tough start. I think they played Wycombe. I think they played Rotherham. They played Charlton. They played Portsmouth. I think they played Portsmouth. So you couldn't have had a worse start. But they need to keep it going against the sides that maybe sit in against them, and they're going to have to find a different way to play. I'd find.
Interesting. Here are those results you were talking about. So last time we'd spoken, Ben, was I think it was 26th of August. So look, we'll ignore the Football League trophy stuff there, but another 2 games and another 2 wins. And as you mentioned, the fixtures are only going to get easier now for Wigan. They beat Pompey 1-0 and they beat Doncaster 2-1. And a quick little scan of the table, as I said, shows us Wigan up there, 2 points per game. Look at that. Only 4 goals conceded in 6 games as well. Only Sheffield Wednesday and Plymouth can match that. Quickly scanning down the table. Sorry if I've missed anyone. It's hard. I'm trying to forecast an upward trend. It's hard to trend upwards from 13 points from 6 games, isn't it? There's not much headroom there. I'm sure they'll be quite happy to be on 26 points at 12 games, weren't they? But just a quick little précis on those 2 previous games. And we'll look ahead at all the teams at the end of the show, what they're doing. But a win against Pompey and a win against Doncaster, Ben.
Yeah, and they went behind against Doncaster and came back from behind again, showing that character that good teams need to do. And Doncaster were down there. So again, they found a way to beat the better side, maybe not the better sides. And like you say, that amount of points from 6 games. I think for Wigan, I think their main aim this year is just to get to 50 points and then go from there. Forget going up just yet. Get to 50, 52 points. Then you want to beat your points slightly from last year. Then you get to 60, your 65, your 70. And then really go that 78-point mark to get into the playoff. It changes every year. But again, great results for them. I'm looking forward to watching more of Wigan. I'll get to watch them, I think, in November, the rescheduled game. They have got a lot of internationals, so they will have a lot of backlog to play. So it's be interesting to see how the kind of that happens later on in the season when they've got more games to play. But Wigan will be fine. They've got a big enough squad. They've got some good depth there, and they've got a manager that knows what they're doing.
Excellent. Moving on, there is Wycombe, who have dropped off somewhat. Last time we spoke, they were right up there, but a defeat and a draw since. Let's just conclude on the business. And again, I'll bang through the names that have come in. Iain have come, Wakely, Pendlebury, who we mentioned on the last show, Scowen, Kai, Dubar, Parsons, Prishbeck, Dixon, Vokes, who you've bigged up before, and Hanlon. I know a couple of undisclosed in there, but typical Wycombe kind of savvy, and they pick up players from the locality around. You'll always see a Chelsea and a Reading in there, won't you? What's your views again, and anyone who's sort of exciting you there on those incomings?
Spend within the means, Pendlebury, again, I think they've had for a year now, came through Reading's youth, and obviously they've had in their youth for a year, but he looks exciting, he looks hungry, and it's a bit of that young, fresh to that old age inside, which is nice to see. I like Hanlon. I thought he was very good at Gills. Didn't quite get the rub of the green at Bristol Rovers. I thought the managers didn't use him correctly, but at this level, he's a very good player. Knew better to come and get the better out of him than Gareth Ainsworth. And then other than that, I think they've strengthened quite well in a few key areas. They already had a strong side. They'll be up there come the end of the season. But, only 1 point from the six. That's going to happen. I think all teams this year will go through a patch of 5 games where things don't go their way. With Ipswich, theirs is a bit extended, the 5 games at the moment. Fleetwood had theirs at the start of the year. Charlton are on theirs at the moment. And then you look at, Sheffield Wednesday, they're struggling at, the last few games. So be interesting to see who has the worst, 5 games. If you can pick up 4 draws in your worst 5 games, you still you don't move up, but you don't really move down.
That's a great point you've made. I remember Chris Wilder talking about it in Premier League terms. Obviously, it's very different in League One, but about reacting to defeat and forgetting about it and minimising like you say, the inevitable slow run. And I mean, when we look at the fixtures, they'd started well, but the past 2 games since we last spoke, they have played Sunderland away and Oxford away. So there may even be a case of, Sunderland the top of the league, aren't they? That they are difficult games, and Wycombe now drop in there. They do have that game in hand as well, I suppose. That sort of, what's the word? Makes the table not quite what it seems. If you add on even a point from that game, they're in with the group of everyone on 12 points. So probably less to worry about there. But early season going away to Sunderland and losing, is that establishing the hierarchy and where maybe Wycombe are going to sit in it this season?
I think you've got to be realistic. Wycombe are a good side, but you're going to play Sunderland with 30,000, 50,000 seats in the stadium. And I always say you play these Sunderlands, you play your Charltons, you play your Ipswiches. You don't want to lose. It's a must not lose game a lot of the time if you want to get into the playoffs. But you need to take your points from the bottom half side. And if you can do that, you go into the Sunderlands, your Oxfords, your Wigans, your Charltons with nothing to lose. You can go in there with a free hit, basically. So if I'm a Wycombe fan, I'm not worried. It's 2 tough games. To get a point away at Oxford, I don't think many sides will do that this year. They created 2 or 3 good chances within 20 seconds, to be fair to them. So they kept Oxford quiet for 90 minutes, which is a plus. But now they must, return to Adams Park and get 3 points on the board.
Absolutely. Let's move on to Sheffield Wednesday, who I think were top last time we spoke, and they're down in the middle. Again, similar caveats about games in hand and back-to-back defeats. Now, you've been very high on the sort of incomings at Sheffield Wednesday. I'll just bang through them again, just so we can conclude on business and move forward. Brown, Johnson, Gibson, Hunt, Adinaran, Sal, Peacock, Farrell, Shadipo, Wing, Canberry, plenty of loans in there, by the way. Byers, Berahino, Corbanu, Lee Gregory. Certainly, other than my lot at Ipswich, in terms of big names and star power, they're right up there, aren't they? Wednesday, and seemingly knitting it together a bit better. Some big names that maybe some possible championship quality players in there, Ben.
Absolutely. They've strengthened well to what they needed, and they've added towards the better players from last year, if you ever look at it. They fitted it around, Barry Bannon, Dominic Iorfa, who I like a lot, Hutchinson as well. And then they've just gone, right, we've got depth for each area. I think it's centre half, we've got 5 or 6 options. You know, Lewis Gibson, I like a lot. I think he's a very good player. Che Dunkley is no fool at this level. And then you've got your strikers, you know, your Lee Gregory's, your Berahino's, your Dennis Adenians. You've got, you know, firepower. They've not done the greatest in the last 2 games, but you know, Sheffield Wednesday is a cup final for a lot of teams. So you're gonna, you know, raise your game. You want to beat them, and you know, Plymouth Argyle are a very good side. So you know, to go there and lose 3-0, it will happen, and it's how they bounce back. They don't want to keep losing. They want to, you know, show the good character and show how tough they are by, you know, going winning 1 or 2-0.
You already mentioned that Plymouth game. I was just going to say to you, what the hell happened the last 2 games? We're in Mick McCarthy quote, "They're no mugs," when we're talking about Morecambe, aren't we? What a result that is. Morecambe beating the mighty Sheffield Wednesday there. And Morecambe came to Ipswich on opening day, and very good value for a 2-2 draw there. Bit concerning though, isn't it, to have leaked 4 goals and not scored in either of those 2. Has that changed any thoughts for you? The recent 0 for 6?
No, because you are going to have these blackout periods at some point. You are going to have where things don't go your way, and it's how you react. That's how good champions react. Hull last year had a couple of games where they conceded 4 to Fleetwood. You know, I think they lost 4-1 to Fleetwood and 1-0 to Swindon. But they went on a good run after it. And it's all how they react. Plymouth are a very good side. They'll be in the top 10 at the end of the year. They score a lot of goals. They play the right way. They're in your face. And then Morecambe, again, they're solid. They're going to try and get to 50 points. Do I think they'll get found out eventually? Probably yes. But Morecambe, they've got energy about them, they've got youth, they've got experience, and they just gave everything for the cause. So Sheffield Wednesday just need to kind of, you know, match the energy and the intent of the other teams and just kind of be that little bit nasty, that little bit ruthless. Otherwise, it could end up like an Ipswich or a Sunderland or a Portsmouth that are down there for a few years.
Indeed. Let's talk about Rotherham. Now, we've got a lot to talk about in terms of recent games, because obviously you saw one in the flesh, and there's been 3 for Rotherham, of course. So let's just deal with, again, typical looking, kind of careful Rotherham type recruitment in there. It concluded here: Ferguson, Chapman, Boller, Odafin, Edmonds, Green. He was playing first team for Huddersfield last season. Rathbone, and then Grigg as well. He's never far away in League One, is he? What do you think about the Rotherham recruitment? I suppose parlayed in with the players they've managed to keep.
I like Rathbone. I thought he was very good on Saturday. Probably their best player. You know, energy, a busy bee in midfield. You know, if he loses it, he'll come forward and, you know, box to box. One of the best midfielders in this league. You know, Grigg, I just think he needs a bit of love. He got like MK Dons, and who better than Paul Warren to give it to him? You know, you've not got a bad choice of strikers with Freddie Ladapo, Michael Smith and Will Grigg up front, have you?
Right, yeah.
And then you've got Edmonds Green at the back, who I think came on as a sub. But again, it is an aging back 3 for Rotherham, so he will come in and play a part. So, you know, the recruitment's been very good. I like Paul Warren, and they're gonna win more games than they lose, I believe, this year.
Let's have a look then, and you can hone in on this Fleetwood game that you attended here. They've played 3 times since we last spoke, Ben. 2 of them against Doncaster, in fact, although that's added in an EFL Cup game. But the league games, there was a 2-0 home win against Doncaster. A bit of a pasting off Fleetwood and a surprising away win there, 4-2 win. And I spoke to a Lincoln fan, as Jake, you know, last night on his show. I think Lincoln were lucky to get away with a point in that one from what I've heard. So complete mixed bag there. Win, draw, loss. The draw they should have won, and a bit of a battering off your boys. Can you just talk to us particularly about what you saw in the flesh from Rotherham, who currently lie 13th, 10 points from 7 games?
They're a good side. They're expressive. They like to get balls into the box. But Fleetwood are a side that we went back to a 3-5-2 with Morris being injured, and I believe that's Fleetwood's best formation because there's more solidarity there. There's more, kind of core in that, middle of the park, which we need. And to go to Rotherham away, you're going to need it. And then we scored a very, very good goal through Callum Morton. His skill led to the goal, great finish. And then a good header by Michael Smith. You can't let him have room. Then a penalty how it's a penalty, I don't know. I've seen it back about 7 or 8 times. And then after that, it just crumbled in the second half. Garner 2-2. And after that, it only looked like one winner. Danny Andrew scored a beauty of a free kick 30 yards out from goal.
You should tweet about that, Ben.
Oh, I have done. I have done. I've only tweeted about 18 times.
I've been watching.
So now, but again, he does it on a regular basis. And then getting the 4 through Callum Camp. So I think the mentality at Rotherham needs to change if they want to go up. They're still in that losing mentality from last year, which they need to shift. But Rotherham are a side that always end the season strongly, and you can see him going on a good run. But yeah, it does seem very flat at the New York Stadium, if I'm honest with you. And a good way to react with a point against Lincoln, but it probably should have been more.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed wholeheartedly. Right, finally, let's talk Charlton. We'll do business, and then the results still haven't turned yet. McGoldrick, Dobson, Blackett-Taylor for Mayhew. Harry Arter, who I believe went for £5 million to Forest last season. Again, don't at me on those numbers. Stockley, Clare, Kirk, who we mentioned in the last show, Lee, Lavelle, Jonathan Lecco back at Charlton as well. Suare, Henderson on freeze. What's your views on that recruitment? Does it feel a bit more scattergun than some of the others, or still plenty of quality though, isn't it?
Very different. And I said to you a few weeks ago, they've probably done the best business in the league, in my opinion. But now they've just added a few more players to it. Harry Arter will add depth in midfield, still a good age, experience, likes to get on the ball, likes to play forward, run forwards. Lavelle is a good age, a good fit, a good role model. Played over 150 games, 200 games at Morecambe. Been their captain. I think it's a bigger loss for Morecambe than it is a bigger game for Charlton getting him. Femoral I like a lot. Been there last year as well. Craig McGoldrick is probably the best goalkeeper in the league. So there's a lot of good pluses there, and it will click. I don't think calling for the manager's right at the moment, because at the moment it's only form still. I don't look at the table proper until 18, 20 games into the season, because that's when you'll start to see, maybe teams trending upwards, maybe teams trending downwards, and there's still a long way to go. They've got a lot of quality. They've got goals. They've got a good quality midfield. They're able to keep clean sheets. Results will soon come for that Charlton side. They just need to be patient, and hopefully the rewards will come.
Results not coming yet, despite your confidence, Ben. But they did get their only win so far of the season since we last spoke. They beat Crewe at home. But then, and I suppose as an Ipswich fan, Cheltenham have also beaten Ipswich this season. We shouldn't say surprising defeat, but Cheltenham have had some brilliant results, haven't they? Start of this season. Let me just bring the table in as well. And of our dearly departed teams here, I'm looking at two things. I'm looking at one win, and I'm looking at 5 goals scored. So clearly not there yet. But sounds like you're in the it's a bad period of form that's more than likely to turn narrative, Ben, yeah?
Yeah, I think it's stupid I have no sympathy for teams that sack the manager after 6 games of the season with, there's some circumstances I can allow, but after that, it's an absolute liberty, really, and it's no good for the players, because Charlton have just signed, a load of good players spent all the budget on the good players of a manager. That's going to reshuffle in January, and you kind of got to start again. Whereas if you're 15 games into a season, you can go, okay, he's got what he worked to, then he has a little bit to it.
I want to come back to a point you've made a couple of times as well, in terms of that brilliant quote about digging around the bins. And it feels like I've heard a couple of journalists say this, and I agree. With the window and with COVID, and then that irritating international break, it's almost like the first sort of 4 games are kind of like a pre-season for points, aren't they? And then everything now becomes sorted out. I'm certainly hoping that's the case down at my lot. Let's have a look at this next round of games, round number 8. Remember, a few of our teams have only played 6. I think Rotherham and Wycombe are in that boat. Let's go down from the top. Wigan visiting Stanley. What's your take on that? Stanley are always an absolute bugger to play against, especially at home. They're up in 6th in the table, but Wigan very tight, very viable. What do you think on Wigan's chances this weekend, Ben?
I think it's very good. I think it's very good. They're going to be back by 1,500, 2,000 away supporters, which should be good for them. Should really help them. But Stanley at home, I think they thrive on the big occasion. Stanley aren't going to win it today, and they're a bugger for it. They love winning at home. They love winning against the underdog, and they were very unlucky to lose against Sunderland. They have 2 or 3 very good chances. One gets blocked off the line from Colby Bishop, which is very good defending from the Sunderland man. So on another day they could have got something. So Stanley, you probably want to put him in the back half of the season when they start to get a bit tired with that smaller squad. But at the moment, they're still fresh. They just come back off a week off. John Conlon will have them fired up and ready to go again.
I'm going to shudder when I mention this team next, because it's Bolton who really battered Ipswich last week, and now Everett, the manager, is the hipster name to be mentioned. Obviously, that probably annoys the likes of you because you've been covering him for years and years, and it's like, we know. But Bolton versus Rotherham, that's going to be an interesting one, isn't it? Bolton well up in the table, bit of a clash of styles. What are you saying on that one?
You're right about Iain Everett. In his 3 years of management, he got borrowed from one place above the relegation zone to mid-table and always looking at the playoffs, to winning Barrow promotion and winning Bolton promotion. And at Bolton last year, I think they were 19th with 18, 19 games to go. They went on an unbelievable run. So, he's got a good thick skin, Iain Everett. I like that. And if you've got that as a manager, you're going to last in jobs. And, very, very good manager. Do I think they have a chance? Yes, why not? They score goals. They've got some very good players. I like that Dominic Auzathoth. I think he's a very good player. Oh,
God.
He scores goals. He's skillful.
We couldn't stop him, Ben. Yeah, he was excellent. Yeah.
Unplayable. Then you've got your likes of, your Isgroves, your Kachungas, who's not even started yet. I think he's come off the bench 6 or 7 times. Ian Doyle. Then you've got your core in midfield, your Lees, those types of players. So I like them a lot. I think they're a very good side. I reckon they could get into the top 6 at the end of the season. They've got enough quality. I could see Bolton upsetting the party here.
Interesting. We got what I think you're probably going to say is a favourable matchup here for Sheffield Wednesday. Shrewsbury at home. Is this the kind of biggest banker for our dearly departed this round?
Yes. I look at Shrewsbury and I struggle for them because I've seen Cottrell's interviews and it just looks that he's maybe lost that little bit of spirit, calling people out. And when you start doing that, you kind of people question going, is he on his last legs here? Is he trying to look for excuses, which isn't a Cottrell thing to do? The thing is with Shrewsbury, I don't think they'll sack the manager. He's just been given a 3-year deal last year. And for a club like Shrewsbury to pay 2.5 years out, it's a lot of money to replace. Wednesday are expected to win, but they need to go and win and show, the League One why they're going to be up there and why they need to be respected and, why they need to get back to winning ways. It'll be a huge win. I think they take a 1-0 win right now, and I think they'll just about get it.
Right, good luck with this one then. Dearly departed derby, Wycombe versus Charlton. I'll just throw to you on that one. That's a hard old call, that one, isn't it?
I think you're contrasting styles. Charlton need a win, and they're low on confidence. And go to Adams Park, you don't want to go there low on confidence. You want to go in there with a good record behind you. Wycombe again, a bit of pressure on them after not winning the last few. Chance at home to get a result. I'll go for a draw. I just think both sides are, very good, want the same things. We'll go on good runs, we'll go on bad runs at the same point. But I reckon they've got similar talents in the squad, but a draw in this one.
Brilliant stuff, Ben, as ever. Before we wrap up, I've got to ask you, we've got to quickly talk about our teams because people always ask us. It's been a bit dull at Fleetwood the last 3 games, hasn't it?
We start off 0 points in 3 games. In the last 3, league games, we've played 3. Got 7 points on the board. I think we've scored 8 goals, conceded 5. I said to my dad at the start of the year, I'm like, we are going to literally stay up on set pieces and winning 1-0. At the moment, we haven't kept a clean sheet. At the moment, we're scoring goals for fun. So, yeah, there's still a long way to go. I still want to get to 50 points. I'm not going to get overexcited after those 3 games. After beating Rotherham, I think it'd be too harsh to say we're going to win the playoffs. I think more like we're going to win the league. But, still a long way to go. And I'm excited. I'm, pleased for Grayson. He deserved that win. And he got his tactic spot on the other day. So next target is the 10 points. We're currently on 7. So, just keep moving up, keep, away from that drop zone and going to these bigger games with nothing to lose.
And as a fellow creator, manna from heaven, 3-2 last minute victories and 4-2 away wins. So go and check out Ben's vlogs on those. And just the bizarre, ridiculous, pathetic, whatever word you want to call it, start for Ipswich continues. What is your take from the outside on this squad that should be, frankly, winning games easily, that just is abject defensively and is really showing no signs of clicking yet, with Lincoln, Wycombe and Sheffield Wednesday coming up?
I just think they've signed too many, and it's like I've lost count of who's who it. If you keep changing the side, you need a settled side. Good sides have a settled 11 every week, and it's like, there's 2 changes, but tell you something, there's no change in that. There's still got
in the quality.
quality.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah,
Fleetwood had it the other year. We went 12 unbeaten, and in that run, we played Ipswich, we beat them. We played Wycombe away from home, we had the best home from the league, we beat them. Played Sunderland away, got a draw last minute for them. We played Portsmouth twice. We played Coventry. We played Peterborough. So we're playing good sides. But I reckon we made 2 or 3 changes in the 12 games, and they were players who'd always come off the bench. So I think if they just need a settled side, they just need to calm down. Get that similar side, get them playing together, and maybe just need a break for a while just to get the team settled in. And let's hopefully they get that first win, because when they get that first win, I think that'll do them the world of good. I think it'll be a huge release, because at the moment, Paul Cook is going a little bit bolder, and that voice is going a bit more croaky, and I never thought that would be possible.
Oh, that's tremendous. And Jess Bent, so easy to score against. It's not true. Conceding well over 2 goals per game now. Right, amazing stuff. Thank you again to Bits, who is our fan sponsor for these dearly departed shows. Follower of Ipswich for 40 years over land and sea and Norwich. Right, as we say every week, we only cover 5 teams on here. Where should the lovely people go, Ben, if they want to hear about all 24?
Over my channel, CODS Vlogs, CODS Vlogs, VLOGS. Again, a lot of top 10s at the moment, and we're going to be covering on live shows, and just not had the time to cover the live shows at the moment. We cover teams, match day vlogs and Fleet will play them. And we're going to go and do a few cup games, I feel, in the next few weeks to go and watch, a couple of League One teams. So always trying to get new fans in to talk to them, and again, update me spreadsheets are a killer. I realised yesterday that I've done everyone up to date but Lincoln, so I had to start all over again. It took me about 40 minutes to do. Update the Lincoln stats, but if you want to come over, I always try and bring your stats, a PPG, attendance figures, so anything will be appreciated.
And whereabouts on Twitter, Ben?
FDFC Knappers. So again, similar things to what Ben does on Twitter. I'll always, do a load of predictions. Then is what I'll do. I'll put my predictions out, delete Twitter, and mute everything for 2 days.
Unbelievable stuff.
Wigan fans now think I hate them, because for the first 5 games, I predicted them only to get 3 points. Then I did predict them to win, and it goes, we're going to lose now.
You can't win. I had the same thing with QPR fans. That one of them pointed out that 6 games in a row, I'd predicted them to draw. So then I banned myself from predicting that they were going to draw. So I had to predict them to lose against Bournemouth, and unfortunately they did. But we love Wigan and we love QPR, and the predictions are all a bit of fun. Look, obviously, I'm a big fan of Knappers. He's a young creator. He's not out there doing stupid clickbait and following Manchester United and Liverpool and just,
He's
going for the
Fleetwood. I wonder who does that.
Yeah, going for the biggest numbers. His work ethic's fantastic, and he's got a very similar take to me on really doing the research. He really deserves your subscription, so please go ahead and hit the button over there. Ben, we will be back. Hopefully, look, it's not a 3-game week next week, so we'll be back at the back end of next week. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for watching, everybody. Say goodbye, Ben.
See you later, guys. Thanks for watching.
And it's a big over and out from me. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button, and to be notified every time we upload, ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.